Salute to our Blorange Tears fam. Man, first and foremost, I'd like to thank everybody who's joined us the whole season. This is the last show of the season because the season is over on Sunday. Now, it's just been a roller coaster of a ride. We had such high hopes in the beginning of the year, being a 4 seed, getting better shooters. Y'all know the story. I just thought that we were going to be a whole lot better than what ended up being this year. But it's all right. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? There's still good things to look forward to as far as the draft coming up. We got last year we didn't end up in the lottery, but this year we're going to be in the lottery. So we got a couple prospects we're going to talk about. And for those of y'all like these shirts I'm rocking right here, these two smooth shirts and lids, look your boy up on IG. For the fellas, it's too smooth. And for the ladies, it's smooth her. So if you like anything on IG, hit your boy up, saying DM me, and I'll shoot you the price. But that's another reason why I'm rocking black today, because it's over with. It's done. It's finito. It's a wrap. It's the end of the season. It is what it is. But like I said, we're going to talk about some prospects. We're going to talk about our Knicks, the last couple of games, how the youngins are doing. They're not being no Randall. So, yeah, we got some things we're going to talk about tonight. And so I want us to go ahead and start off with Mark Williams. He's a Duke center, 7'1", 242 pounds with a 7'7" wingspan. He played 2 years at Duke. His first year, he only had 7.1 points. And then his second year, he had 11.2 points. Rebounds, 4.5 his first year and 7.4 his second year. Blocks, his first year, 1.1. And then this year, 2.8. His field goal percentage went from 66 his first year to 72%. And his free throw percentage from 53 to 72, with 15.2 minutes his first year and 23.6 minutes his second year. I mean, he may go at the end of the lottery. I could see him going, somewhere like to the Blazers. Jusuf Nurkic is no longer with the team. This is going to be his, he's on an expiring contract. Us maybe losing Mitch. I can see us going that route if he's available. To me, he seems like a poor man's Mitchell Robinson. He has good footwork for being a pigeon-toed 7-footer. Even though he has a little bit of a heavy foot, he still has good lateral movement. The way he backpedals, the way his hips open up, he's able to get switched on other opponents, and that wingspan allows him to recover and either block the shot or get back on his guy. So, I don't know which way the Knicks are going. We're unsure of where we're going to pick right now. We're somewhere around, 9 or 12 or something like that. I haven't checked lately, but we're probably going to end up in the back of the lottery is what I'm thinking. So we're just kind of doing our due diligence, kind of just talking about different prospects. Just like, Mitch, he does a lot of his damage, most of his damage, all of his damage in the post, in the paint. Whether it's putbacks, whether he does have a little bit of a post-up game, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he will go put his back to the basket. He has a little baby hook shot. He has a little push shot. He cleans up the glass. He has good hands, not like Noel's. He'll catch the oops. So, yeah, I like those things about him, and that athleticism allows him to do those types of things. He's not real thin. He has an NBA ready body, so he's able to go down there and bang with the trees if he's a plug and play right away. If Mitch walks and we don't pay Mitch, that's a route we could go. I don't see Sims as a starting center, even though I do like Sims. He just has a lot to work on as well. And, you can never have enough bigs. You know, we went into the season this year with 4 bigs, Mitch, Noels, you know, Sims and Taj. You guys know the story. So, you know, being that big, throwing your body around, you're just gonna get hurt a lot of times. And so, who knows what's gonna happen? So, this is just somebody I've been watching, and I wouldn't be mad if they took the choice of picking him up. And like I mentioned, the defensive end, he just reminds me a lot of Mitch, where he's able to kind of leave his man if he has to go guard a stretch 5, and he's able to, you know, cover a lot of ground if he's leaving the low block and either has to be in no man's land and recover out on the wing, or he could just, you know, get back to his guy if, you know, the pass gets swung around. So I'm just, you know, just throwing guys out like that. You know, he's able to cheat and recover. So I like his play. You know, he's a rim runner. Back to the basket. Just, you know, I'm cool with that kind of guy. Another guy I want to talk about. And let me salute some cats in the chat. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. And if y'all been rocking this whole season, like I said, it's been a long season. I appreciate it. So we got White Falcon 44, salute. Rome Far Rock, salute. Sherwin M, salute. Will Salkin, salute. Pudge Nice, salute. Appreciate it, fellas. Yeah, so yeah, we got a long ways ahead of us. I think the ping pong balls is not till like May 17th, so we don't even know where we're going to end up at that time. So for now, we're just going to talk about different fellas. Another guy is Benedict Matherin. You know, he's mocked anywhere from 5th to 9th. He's averaging 17.7 points, 5.6 rebounds, 2.3 assists. His field goal percentage is 45%. 3-point percentage is 36, and free throw percentage is 76. So this is another guy I would take too. He's 6'6", 210, 6'9" wingspan. He's an average frame, not too thin, shifty. You know what I'm saying? He can handle the rock. You know, those are good things. He'll hit you with a little hezzy, cross you over. You know, real fluid with the ball and his movement. You know, I like that. Someone who could get their own bucket. Someone who, you know, is shifty, someone who could just, you know, take you to the rack and get your own. That's something that we really don't have on our team, is players that could get their own bucket. You know what I'm saying RJ could get to the rack. You know, he's doing better at finishing. Cam, when he was out there for a limited time, he was another one that could get his own bucket. But we just need some bucket getters. You know what I'm saying? Because when our shot's not going down, we need somebody that's able to get to the rack, and if they're fouled, you know, hit their free throws. So I like him. You know, he's really bouncy, athletic, plays above the rim. You know what I'm saying? He ain't afraid of catching a body, and he's always good for, you know, a highlight windmill dunk like OBB doing. So, you know, if he's available and it's our pick, he's someone I'd take. Like I mentioned, I really haven't broke down on what order I would go as far as, you know, who's available, but this is definitely somebody who's on my radar right now. You know, he's physical, he's pesty. You know what I'm saying? He'll bang with you in the post. He's good defender, twitchy. You know what I'm saying? He opens up his hips, good lateral movement, just a good help defender, period. You know what I'm saying? And he'll stay on his man. He ain't afraid to go to help others and fast enough to recover as well. So, like, I'm good on taking him. Also, he's an unselfish player. You know what I'm saying? So he'll look for others. He'll try to, you know, he's a underrated passer. You know, if someone's in the post, he'll throw the ball like into the guard, like you throw into a garbage can, nice over the rainbow pass to get over the opponent's head to get to his teammate. So I like that about him. You know what I mean? And if all things fails, he'll just put his head down and get to the rack. You know, he's a slasher. So those are just some guys I've been keeping my eye on and doing a little bit of my research on guys who I would take. So that's kind of what we've been doing lately from the beginning with, you know, Paulo Banchero and his teammate AJ Griffin, and now we're talking about Mark Williams, and now to Benedict. What it do, Cully?
Yo,
What's good? What's good?
what's going on?
Man, it's the end of the season. It's over. It's a wrap.
It's over. So what's the direction, man?
Whew. I mean, there's so many. I hope they just stick to the plan and just. I like what we've seen at the end of the season with these youngins. You feel
Mm-hmm.
me? Like we still don't know. Is IQ a point guard? You know, can he be a starting point guard? Is he better? With the second unit. These are just things I would like to know. Is Deuce McBride an NBA player? Is he a starter? Is he a? There's so many. Can he run the second unit? Another question. I
Mm-hmm.
was hoping to see him these last couple of games, but he's just been injured. It's just one of those things where like, man, you finally get your time to shine, and you don't get the opportunity to go out there and see and let us see what you got. So it's a big change from G League to NBA, but I don't know. I don't know if these last two games he's gonna play or if he
Man, I hope so, man. That's like one of my favorite rookies, man. Deuce. That's the guy. That's the guy I wanted.
yeah
So
yeah
I hope
watching
so. I have a biased opinion with Deuce.
yeah so
So I hope he does play. Well,
right,
yeah.
we got two games left. How do you feel about Burks still running the point though? Did you like Burks running the point against Brooklyn, even
No,
though he showed up and showed out?
no, because it's not sustainable, man. And it just goes to show that Tibbs is stuck in his ways. It's the end of the season. We're not making anything besides a lotto. So unless Tibbs is accidentally tanking, then okay, then
Uh,
I'm here for it. But um, me, you might as well play the youngins, man. See what you have. Unless they're not going to be part of the team next season, I don't see why you can't play the youngins and evaluate what you have. This happens every year. So
Yeah, that's a key word you just said there, Kelly, was evaluate. I still feel that we should be evaluating next year. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, like keep the youngins. We're still unsure of what they have. We got them on the cheap sheet, so don't be trying to put them in some kind of deal. You know what I mean? And send them out to bring in whoever.
right.
I mean, realistically, everybody, not everybody, but I gotta quit saying that. A lot of people are saying Spider. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like other teams out there could give a better package, than what we have to Utah for a Spider. So, you know, off jump, you would have to throw in RJ.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? The way RJ has been playing, even though he's been missing his free throws, but I'm not too worried about that. He's been running the offense. The offense has been running through him. He's been getting others involved. He's been showing a lot of different things in his repertoire as far as stopping, popping, pivoting, just taking people out the bounce, using his right hand, using different angles. Just um, he's taking the he's taking the lead role. So I would like to see what RJ could do next year with the lead role. Him, with just everybody just following him. Just all right, RJ, lead
So
us. Lead us.
so let me ask you. You think you think pardon? You think they should evaluate the youngins next year?
I think we shouldn't trade him. That's what I'm saying. Like,
They might. 'Cause I was gonna say it might not be a next year for the youngins. We don't know. That's
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, keep evaluating him because there's so
only
much.
2 games left. So I mean, we don't know. You can only evaluate them in these next 2 games, and
Well, you still have these next two games. You still have summer league. I mean, what do we do in the draft? Are we keeping the pick? Are we trading the pick? Are we adding it? Are we making some kind of package where we get rid of a vet and get rid of um, the draft pick and like you mentioned, get some average, mid, average vet in, and so there's just so many different ways they could go. I just don't want them to go the route of trading our youngins when we're still unsure of what they are. You know, let's have some patience. I know patience isn't a word that us Knicks fans throw around a lot,
right,
but it's
definitely isn't. Definitely isn't.
Yeah, but it's something I want to do. I want to grow organically. I want to grow with from the bottom up, from our own homegrown players, and let's see what. Oh, I mean, Obi has stepped up to the plate these last 3 games, and without a Julius Randle, and he's not a ball stopper. He plays within the flow of the game. He plays within the flow of the game.
He has
And
that college maturity, man.
right, right. And that's what I like is there's no egos when you're watching the games. These guys are having fun out there. They're smiling, they're cheering each other on, they're pushing each other, not in a bad way, like get off me, but like in a good job, good looking out. Let's keep this going. Those types, that camaraderie. Those are the kind of things that we want to see. Who's gonna be? We already want RJ to be the leader. Now, who's gonna be his co-pilot? It's kind of what I'm getting at. Is it going to be IQ? It just seems to me right now that the vets with Burks and Evan, they're taking that more veteran role. We're gonna play within the team. If I get an open shot, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I like the way Evan is moving around and finding those threes. Those little sidestep threes, those little backstep threes, and he's getting rid of the rock, and he's not like clapping, asking for the rock the whole time and getting mad.
Hey, I told you I like Evan from the gate.
But I'm saying, like, yeah, as far as those two guys, but yeah, but he came around towards the end of the season, and you got certain games here and there where he showed up and showed out, and there's other games where you're like, okay, Evan, you were out there for 36 minutes and you gave us 6 points. I mean, so I mean, I don't know. I still want to kind of figure out the combinations of what works with who as well, and what is Cam. I still don't know what Cam is. Can Cam be a starting 3 next to RJ? There's just so many questions that I need answered. I don't want to trade Cam. Don't put him in a deal and get rid of him either. Yeah. How do you feel about
Cam? I like Cam. I just hope they don't ship him off too soon, man.
Right.
I hope he's not trade bait. That'll be retarded. That's just that'll be so retarded. That'll be just stupid on the next part. We traded a pick for him. I would hope he's has some type of future with the team. At least he's given a chance. We traded a pick for him that we could have used. I would hope so. We didn't just trade Knox. We traded a pick. So if that would be very much be malpractice on the Knicks.
Yeah, they got to get on the same page this summer. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know how much on the same page they are, man. That worries me. I fear they're gonna trade. I fear them trading this pick. I don't know what pick we may have. It's looking like maybe 11th. I don't know. 10th, 11th. I don't know. But I fear that they're gonna trade this pick. I just don't know, because I don't know who they're gonna trade it for, and I just don't trust them to get something off.
Right.
It worries me.
Yeah, that's the exciting part and the nervous part at the same time. Like biting your nails.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If you do another draft watch this year, I can't rock with you, Kelly. I'm gonna just let you know right now. I'm gonna be
a draft watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna be too nervous, bro. I ain't gonna be able to watch. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I'll never forget me, Freezy. I don't know if it was a Dukin too. Me, Freezy. I think my man Sean Cube. There's a few of us on here, man. We was hot, man. Freezy was hot, man, because he liked Kai Jones from Texas, man. They gave the pick away to the Hornets for nothing. It's all right though. I mean, I like Grimes, but I'm just saying they just gave the pick to them. Like, you just gifted them the pick, man. Come on, it was talent in that draft. Yeah. It's not like there was garbage in that draft, man. There was some talent in there.
Yeah, I'll be trying to keep it PG. So if something goes bad and goes left, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to contain myself. I might just have to slip up a few times. So,
yeah, I'm sorry.
You can't be having all that.
I'm wondering if I slipped up that night. I might have been drinking that night. I don't know. Freezy might have slipped up. I know Freezy might have let his emotions out. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's Knicks fans. We're gonna let those emotions out. We want to win, and we want to see talent, man. We don't want to, every team. There's teams that just draft poorly, and this team, and then and out of the teams that draft poorly, they're always given a chance to make something happen. This team has a chance to make something happen. Like this team has, it's like they have things at their fingertips. We could have drafted Donovan Mitchell. Now here we are years later, after he's established in the league. He probably didn't reach his ceiling yet. Maybe he did, but years later, after he's reached his full potential in the league, which is like a top 10, top 20 player. Here we are talking about trading for him. It's almost like going backwards in a sense, depending on how we get him. But it's going to take a lot. That's Jazz ain't going to make it easy. That's why I look at World Wide West and I look at Leon Rose. Like, yeah, they have these quote unquote connections, but you have to go through their employer to get them. You have to go through these guys' employer to get Donovan Mitchell. He's not a free agent. He just signed an extension. Like, it's not that easy to get him. It's not as easy as some may think.
Yeah, we still.
You just have to consider it's not easy. That's why these deals don't get done. Teams laugh at the Knicks. It doesn't come out till later, of course. The packages that the Knicks offered and how they went about it. It comes out later. They want to keep that from the fans. Fans will be pissed. I'm trying to think where was I getting at before?
We was talking about the draft and certain players that we wanted and certain players that they were just passing up. That's what makes it exciting though, because we didn't really drop the ball too much. Because think about the other organizations that we had of just trading everything. Trading. What if we just traded everything for Mitchell? Like Mitchell. Yeah, just everything. Just empty the cupboards for him. That would be the old Knick thing to do. I don't feel like they're doing that anymore. We're actually collecting assets. We're collecting draft picks. Like we have a let
me just stop you there.
Go ahead.
I don't feel like they are doing it. However, I don't know. I mean, it's possible they're not, but they have. If Tibbs is still there, you have to also factor. I mean, if Tibbs and Tibbs is still there, they may try to please Tibbs. Tibbs is a quote unquote win now coach, even though I didn't see much winning now this season, but he's a quote unquote win now coach. So I don't know if they're gonna try to make him happy. I hope they don't follow the same route they did in Minnesota. But they may try to please him. They may try to make a lot of moves that they think is aggressive, that they think is good for the team. And I don't know. I don't know how they're gonna go about it. I worry. So I don't want to get too much into the Knicks. I don't even want to know who they're interested in. I don't even care anymore. I don't even want to think about it. Because I know to get certain players, you have to give up a lot. You have to give up stuff. Yeah. I don't think I want to give up any of the youngins. I think I'm happy with the youngins. I think we should just add on to the youngins.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What they call it, addition by subtraction? I don't know. They say addition by subtraction is trading Randall, but that's neither here nor there right now.
Let's talk about it then.
You got to talk about that too.
Because I've been a big Julius fan all this year and all out. Well, we didn't know each other last year, but all this year I've been like, all right, Julius is 20-10-5. The way he can just get to the cup at will, but just all that outside noise, just we know the story. I just feel like he's just a cancer to the team right now. I don't care how good you are. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the leader. So I'm good with trading Randall.
Mm-hmm. I'm good with it. I just don't. I mean, I do care what we'll get back, but we have to trade. It just doesn't work. I mean, he's cool. Randall was cool. I liked him ever since he came in the league. I liked him with the Lakers, but the only thing with him is the attitude. I don't know if it'll work here. I just don't think it'll work. The attitude that he had all season, he's getting into all these confrontations. It's one thing that he gets into the confrontations. I get it, but he gets into them at the end of the games when we already lost. The game's over. We lost already. So you get into these scuffles for what? Because somebody says something to you?
Well, not that Phoenix game though.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, wasn't he having a good game? He had a good game.
Yes, he was having a good game, and I believe we were winning at the time.
Yeah, he had a good game. And here he goes get into it with Cam Johnson, a guy. I mean, Cam is a good player, but a guy off the bench. Come on, man. Huh?
Say who?
Yeah, Johnson, Cam Johnson, a guy that's coming off the bench. Like I said, good player, but come on, he's not. Come on, man. He's not even on Julius' level. He shouldn't be. But whatever, Julius got into it with him, got pushed in the back, quote unquote. He acted out, and got thrown out. Cam Johnson stays in the game and cooks us. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You can't make this stuff up. Would you guys trade? I do the comments. We'll get to the comments soon now.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was just thinking that a while back, Will Salkin. Salute to you. Would you trade Randall for a salary? For salary relief for Westbrook or Wall?
Well, we mean like as far as just clear his contract? That's what you mean?
Yeah, just clear his contract. You got Westbrook on an expiring contract this year.
You can do that. However, I feel like they did a lot of things for quote unquote salary relief, and they end up not getting anything. So I mean, yeah, you can. I feel like you should try to get something back. I feel that's just my opinion. I don't know. I feel like you should really try to get something. However, it's probably hard because his value might have diminished. His value might have diminished as far as how he performed. I mean, he has he's 20-10 outside of Jokic and Giannis. He's 20-10, but their attitude might have lowered his value. It's not impactful. It's not an impactful 20-10. It's not a winning 20-10. It's empty stats. It's bad efficiency. That's what people never bring that part up. And the turnovers and it's good numbers though. A team could use them. A team like the Wizards could use them. Everybody mentions KP. A team like them could probably use them, but I don't know. I don't know where the Wizards. I don't know their direction. I know they made up their mind on their direction mid-season though. We're the only team that didn't make up our mind. A lot of teams made up their mind which direction they're gonna go already. So I don't know, but it would be actually funny to get KP back. That'd actually be the funniest thing in history, in Knicks history. My man, Freezy.
Yeah, I was looking as far as what Will Salkin said, as far as just straight up Westbrook for Julius. They both have the same amount of turnovers. They're going to be turnover heavy. They're going to be costly turnovers when you need it at the end of the game. You need that possession, you need that bucket. He's just going to turn it over, and he's a little bit of a head case as far as interviews as well. So when it's time to talk to reporters after the game, he talks to them a little sideways as well.
Right.
So I don't know. Is it just a wash? Would you just look at that trade as a wash? Because I know that Westbrook is a little feisty on the court. He's going to play 100 and give you 110%. But is he a team player? No.
See, the thing on Westbrook, my only thing on Westbrook, he's low IQ. Only thing with him is I like his effort. He has that heart. He has that dog in him, that intensity.
Right.
The only thing that kind of matches what we want in the Garden.
Right.
The only thing I like with I can say I like with him. I mean, yes, he's a low IQ guy, but he has proved himself. He hasn't won. Hey, Tricky, I tried to get you in. He hasn't won nothing. He's been to the finals. He hasn't won anything, but he has a low IQ, I would say too. But he also, he's a great player. He might be a Hall of Famer. When he has kind of proved himself somewhat. And he's still active. His career is not over. I'm not saying he can't get a ring ever. I don't think that's the case. But that's one thing I will say in the defense of Westbrook. He has that intensity that can kind of match, what the Garden likes. He plays defense, and who knows? Maybe we would be a better fit. We might be a better fit for him. Who knows? We don't know how the fit would work. We don't know the fit. I know one thing. I don't know if you could have. I don't know if you can have him and Randall on the same team. I don't know how that would work. I don't think it'll work at all. Somebody has to defer. I don't know.
So what about his attitude with teammates? Do you think
Westbrook?
Yeah.
I don't think he has an attitude with teammates. I think when it comes to teammates, I think it's usually sometimes just the fit.
Okay.
I think it's
so you don't think he would join the Knicks with no Randall and just being RJ there, that he would try to take over the team and you know what I'm saying, him thinking it's his team and not running through RJ? Those are the kind of things you have to think about,
Say again, I'm sorry.
Those are the kind of things you have to think about is, bringing this guy in. Is he going to give you just as much of a headache as Randall, or is he just going to fit in seamlessly, take that leadership role, kind of take IQ and do
Well,
some of his wing, kind of show him how to,
you gotta also keep in mind. You gotta also keep in mind if Rose gets him in here, Rose is thinking this is Westbrook. Tickets. He might be thinking like how Dolan thinks, tickets and all ticket sales and all this stuff. They might not be thinking about that. I don't know how Leon Rose thinks. Only some GMs think about the team. Only some of them think about the team's success and how in the fit. I was thinking about that today. Only some GMs really know basketball. Not a lot of presidents and GMs. Not a lot of them know basketball that well. Some of them don't care. Some of them they just give guys a check. But Westbrook. I mean, like me, if I have to think about the fit, you have to think about how would he fit with Randall. I don't know if he fit with Randall. And as far as taking over the team, that also depends on the coach. I feel. I mean, he deferred to James Harden in Houston, but that's also his boy. That's his boy. So I don't know. As far as RJ younger, it could be a seniority thing. He may not want to defer. We never know. You never know until you take the chance. Sometimes you have to take chances to see how the fits are, see how some fits work. I remember him deferring to. Harden over there in Houston.
Yeah.
And then Tony switched it up and had Harden defer to Westbrook, and they started playing better. But then the pandemic happened and all that stuff. So the season got.
I was there. I was in Houston. I watched them play.
So that's from what I remember. At least that's what I think I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? Like I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had Harden play off the ball, or I think he had Westbrook play off the ball. He made it work. And they was getting in motion, and then that season got shut down. That's how that went. So I think it's all about the fit. Right now, a lot of guys are a bad fit, and some changes have to be made. These numbers that Tibbs looks off of and that he studies, they don't work clearly. And he thinks that they're gonna work, and he thinks it could work. I mean, it's cool that you're a coach and you have faith in your players, but you have to win games, buddy. Like we didn't win games. You're a win now coach. You're not a development coach. You're not developing the youngins. You don't care to develop them. So that's on the coach. Clearly.
So what has been one of the biggest disappointments this season for you?
The biggest disappointment I can say, it was the coach. I would say Randall too. I mean, Randall had his stats, but it wasn't impactful. I actually expected Randall to have more fire and desire this season, and I think he showed me how who he really is.
Yeah, he showed his true colors this year.
He showed his true colors. Like I said, I always liked him. I liked him when he was in LA. Mm-hmm. He was a bully. At least that's what I thought. That was the scouting report on him, that he was very physical. And that's somewhat his game. He's very physical, but I don't know. I didn't see the thing with him. Instead of physicality, it seems like and more so he gets emotional. It seems like he gets emotional more than logical. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it cost us a lot of games, I feel like.
As our fearless leader, supposedly, we knew he wasn't a number one, but yet we gave him the number one role, and he dropped the ball. You feel me? So at this point, when everybody's looking up to you with all these youngins that we have, he was supposed to be the one that everybody looked up to show him the way. And no, he's pushing all these players. He's pushing Obi off of him. He's yelling at the refs. He's just come on now. Like that's not the way you lead by example. And I just feel like you got to go because of that reason.
Right? Like you get all this. You get bucked with the ref. I mean, like come on, man. Like you get tough with the ref.
Yeah. I understand if it was just one time. You know what I'm saying? Oh, okay, all right, he had a bad day, blah, 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 this is what happened. But this has been something that has been consistently happening all year, one thing after another. And, now it's the end of the season. Now we're looking at a, evaluation, and, yeah, you gotta go. RJ, like the last couple games, too, he's been getting a little mad on the calls he hasn't been getting. you
Yeah, he's
know.
getting frustrated. I see.
Yeah, and but he has been getting to the line a lot though. But he just feels, and that's another thing, you know. If RJ takes that role, does he feel like, you know, he should be, you know, getting those calls, and he's a superstar now, and I just don't want those types of things to get to his head either. I'm
Right.
saying stay humble, just stay humble, stay hungry. You know, just keep working on your craft. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And the rest of it will sort itself out. And that's how I feel like Randall. And you know, he was most improved player. He made it to All Star, and all of a sudden he just started feeling himself like he was just the king of New York. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, calm down, killer. You know what I'm saying? You're not quite there yet.
Yeah,
You
you're not
know?
there. Almost, but not
Yeah.
yet. Right.
But
Yeah, being the guy in New York, man. Like, KD does yell at the ref more than Randall. I get that, but KD's chosen. Randall's not chosen. Like my man Gma would say. But yeah, I get that. I don't want RJ to pick up on that behavior, man. RJ, I mean, at least RJ, you know, for the good part, he admits his mistakes. That's one thing I like about RJ. You know, he took the blame. He took the blame in last night's loss. You know.
my boy Chuck Allen's in the chat right now. Salute Chuck Allen. Don't forget to check my boy out on Monday through Fridays, 8-ish to 9-ish vibes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Real life conversations about, you know, growing up and just real life events. If y'all like going through memory lane, check my boy out with Uncle Freezy. I'm saying it got me hooked every day. I be drinking my coffee, just listening to him. So check my boys out on vibes and stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe too. But yeah, I'm just kind of tired with you know, these guys and not um, just not stepping up to the plate. You know, these young cats are stepping up to the plate even more than these veterans are. We got, you know, IQ and Obi looking good these last couple of days, and I just want to see what more Obi could bring to the table. And if you watch that last game, the broadcasters was giving props to Sims. They're like, "Oh, Jericho Sims, the third of the last pick in the draft. He's out there out hustling everybody out there. He's grabbing boards. He's grabbing."
My fault. I want to say something to Chuck, and this is not just to Chuck, but this is to everyone. Chuck said, you can't blame Randall for that. If we knew he wasn't the number one, don't give him the title and responsibility. You can't be surprised he dropped the ball. I get, like, the funny thing is I agree with that. However, his attitude about not being a number one says otherwise. That's one thing I'll say about Randall. It seems like he has an attitude about not deferring. So I get that we can't give him that title, but he has an attitude. He's not, you know, he's not cooperating with it. You know, his body language says otherwise. His body language says that he wants to be number one, or he thinks he is. So I agree with you, Chuck. Chuck, you usually always right. Well, Chuck, you always right for the most part. You're right. We can't be mad at him. However, from what I've seen this season, says a lot otherwise. You know what I mean? It seems like, you know, he don't like to set picks. Guys it's like he can't be told what to do. This is stuff for the team. Guys are telling you to set a screen. I remember the game, I think it was last week. Mitch told him to set a pick for IQ at the end of the game. I think it was the Bulls game when IQ drove to the basket and kicked it out to Burks. I think that was the play. Randall had a whole. I saw that game. I know we watched the same games. I watched every game. I might have missed one game this whole season. I watch every game. I come home for these games. I'll be out doing something. I'll come home. I gotta watch the next game, and I watch the games. I see these guys. I know body language.
Do you watch the game 2 or 3 times though, Kelly?
Why? Like people say, I watch. You know, so I seen the body language. So his attitude. He has an attitude of a number one, so I don't know. You're right, though. We can't blame him, but he has the attitude of a guy that thinks he is something that he's not. So we clearly see that he's not a number one option. He's not. He's not fit to be a number one option. And now the thing is, I'm always open to giving somebody a second chance and things like that. Like I always said, let's get Randall a PG. You know, but however, after this season with the attitude and stuff like that, and you know, with Tibbs and his philosophy and his BS, I want to curse so bad. I'm sorry. Tibbs and his BS philosophies about, his offense, his quote unquote offense. I want y'all to see my fingers. His quote unquote offense, and you know things like that. How he likes his offense ran, and you know what I mean. You know, can a point guard be a point guard here in New York? Can a point guard dominate the ball in New York without him throwing a fit? You can see his body language. Read his body language. Some of us have played ball. I'm not saying none of us was in the NBA. A lot of us wasn't. A lot of us have played ball though. We know people. Some you play ball with friends, I'm sure. We know people with attitudes. We played with people that thought they was the ish. They thought, they thought they was the best. They thought they was, they thought that they ish didn't stink. We played with guys like that, and you can see his. He acts like a baby. He acts like a big baby. Maybe I know I'm not the only one who sees this. We all watch the games, man.
It's because they catered to him. You know what I'm saying? They let him do those things. So like, I'll give you an example. One time I had missed the winning shot. This was in high school, my freshman year. I missed the winning shot. I didn't go to practice the next day. I left school, went to Mickey D's with my girl and stuff. And the principal pulled up at Mickey D's. He was like, "Get your happy meal and your happy butt and get back to practice." Right? Oh. I was like, just embarrassed me right in front of my girl and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, but when you allow people to get away with things, they're just gonna want, they're like kids, they're gonna want more, What else can I get away with? And the front office, like when it came down to like him not going to post-game conferences and they're just giving him excuses. Oh yeah, whatever it was at the time. Just letting him get away with that, and then more and more and more. The next thing you know, just he's yelling at, he's pushing other players, and he's telling, the fans, booing the fans. Like, when are they going to hold this man accountable for his actions?
Right, and then some would say, not to cut you off or anything, some would say that maybe he is holding him accountable. However, us Knicks fans, we're not dumb. I'm not saying, like Tibbs would say, we don't study. Do you guys study? He says all this crap. We don't know if he's holding him accountable. However, we see that he continued his BS the whole season, which therefore it just shows nothing was said to him. He couldn't have been held accountable. He couldn't have been held. If he was held accountable, he would have stopped his BS. He would have stopped with the attitude and the outbreaks and the tantrums. Clearly the man wasn't held accountable this season. Tibbs pampered him. He babied him. You know what? Not to go off topic, it makes me wonder, because I know Tibbs loves Taj and I know he loves D Rose. It makes me wonder if they look at Tibbs like, man, you did not baby me like this when you in the Chicago.
Right. I was gonna continue on that. What does that say to the youngins? Why are you letting him get away with that? I'm gonna go ahead and act the fool too. Then
and granted, not to cut you off, I'm sorry. And granted,
we're good.
And granted, Taj and D Rose. I mean, Taj has an attitude sometimes, but we're not looking at. We kind of want that from Taj, though. We kind of like the heart and soul of Taj. But D Rose, he's kind of like that quiet leader. You never seen D Rose act like, you never seen him really act like that in his whole career. You never seen him act like that. He has that toughness to him. He doesn't back down, but you never seen him act like that, get ready to fight a guy. You never really seen that from these guys. You never seen that from these guys, their career. These guys showed fight their whole career. They never showed backing down. These guys never backed down from anybody their whole career. Taj, D Rose. It just makes me wonder if they look at Tibbs. They've been with Tibbs most of their career. If they look at him like, you did not treat me like this in Chicago. It makes me, if they don't say nothing, they just like whatever. I just wonder what's going on over there in the Knicks. Like, Taj don't say nothing. Exactly, Pudge. He might be scared of the man. Jules needs a vet. He does need a Mello would probably keep him in check. One thing I will say with Mello, when guys fought, man, Mello was there. He was always there. Like when guys was when a confrontation was about to take place, even if it didn't involve him, he was right there trying to figure out what's going on, holding his guy back, having his guys back, things like that. I will say that about Mello.
So would you want Mello back?
I would love him. I'm a Mello fan. I'm very biased with Mello, so you can't ask me that. I would love. I do want the man to get a ring, though, man. But hey,
you already have one ball stopper. We need another one.
At this point in his time, I'm sure he'll accept his role, man. He's a vet. That's what Tibbs likes. Mello would be a good
bet.
He'd be a
back
good.
to New York though, he gonna be having flashbacks of the good old days, just running it up. He's like, no, I'm gonna get my career. I'm gonna get my career high tonight.
We'll see. Tibbs. That depends on how Tibbs. If Tibbs sits here and if Tibbs looks at his bench every second, Mello, get out there. If he does that every time, then you can expect Mello to run it up. Tibbs might say run through Mello, so we don't know. We don't want that though. I love Mello, but we don't want that. We don't want them to run. We don't want them to run through the guy. We want them to set plays to get him open and get him the best shot, but we don't want them to run the offense through him. We know how that works already, you know.
Plus, Tibbs being a defensive-minded coach and having Mello out there on defense, I don't know if that's a match made in heaven right there.
Well, that's why when you have to look at other teams. When you have guys with deficiencies, you have to cover it. You have to cover the deficiencies. That's where you get the guys that could defend. You know, that's where you have to get the talent. So that's where you blame the front office. You have to know what you're working with. But I don't think Mello would be a key piece here anyway. He would just be a small ball 4. They'll probably use him at the 4. Locker room guy. Vet minimum Mello. Yeah, they'll use him as a locker room guy and just to be a voice to the youngins. At least I know one thing, you can hear Mello screaming when you're watching the games. I respect the guys that I hear screaming when I'm watching the games. Like, short, I got it, short, it's gonna be short. Just yelling. Rondo, KG, guys like that used to bark every game. Every play you hear that loud mouth through the TV. Just yelling at everybody. Those are the guys I respect.
Yeah, because I feel like we'll make some minimum moves this summer. Bring in a couple more vets. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, adding by subtracting. I feel like, Noel's might be gone. I'm ready to get rid of Burks though. I like Burks. I like him running the second unit, but as Tibbs being our coach, he's gonna play him everywhere. He played him in 1 through 4 this year. If he could play him at the 5, he'd play him at the 5. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He just, stops other youngins from getting a chance to hit the hardwood floor. And that's what I don't like. I like Burks, but just Tibbs just messes it up for everybody else because he wants to play in 38 minutes.
You want to see IQ at the PG?
And I'd rather have IQ at the PG right now and Deuce at the backup, and I would like Burks with the second unit.
I'd rather have Deuce at the PG with IQ winning at 2 next to him. I think I'd rather that. That's just me. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like, and this is nothing again. I like IQ. Like I said, I don't want them to trade him. The thing is, you got to play guys to their strengths. IQ is better off the ball. He'll probably be better as a point guard over his years in the league. As older he gets, he'll learn more and more. Like a sponge, he'll absorb it all. But I think he's being rushed into that too soon. That's just me, and that's Tibbs. Here goes Tibbs with his philosophies of playing guys at a position. That's the thing. He wants guys to grow up very soon, and it hurt the team. Tibbs, we like to see, as Knicks fans, I think we just like to see IQ play. We like to see him get the minutes. We like to see him take the challenge, but I don't know if it'll be sustainable. I don't know. I think you should stick to playing IQ to his strength. His best asset is his shooting. His dribbling got better, I will say. He's taking guys right off the dribble to the basket. He's finishing with contact. I will give him that. His finishing has gotten way better. But
yeah, he's just a student of the game, He's just a student of the game. He just learned, he's constantly, like you said, a sponge, constantly learning, constantly elevating his game, finishing at the basket, less floaters, getting all the way to the cup, finding Obi on the oops, keeping the rock and not stopping and looking to, to pass. I just want, like you said, I want to see more. I want to see, he helps space the floor. So when, RJ's slashing, he can kick it back out to IQ for those open trays. So he just brings so many different elements to the game where, you can use them in different ways, whether it's starting or running the second unit but right now we still need to see what he could do. And who knows what Deuce is. You know?
Right. Who knows, yo? I would love for him to he has the handle. I would love for him to start. If even he doesn't start, I would just love for him to get minutes at the point, heavier minutes. But Tibbs trusts his guys, so I don't know, man. I can't call it.
So other than Randall and Tibbs' small rotation, because he could have threw in Deuce and for spot minutes. All right, it's the end of the quarter or whatever, and we need to stop. There's a dead ball. We just we need you to go in there and just shut somebody down. Don't let them score at the end of the quarter or whatever. He could have found those spot minutes for Deuce throughout the season. And
That's why, like, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I can tell you. Go ahead.
well, and that's kind of what I'm hoping he learns from this summer and adds that to his bag because he's going to be our coach. I just don't want the same consistent heavy minutes for all these vets. You know what I mean? The only reason why we saw Grimes is because everybody got hurt. The only reason why we saw Sims is because everybody got hurt. Is he had no choice. So that's kind of what I'm hoping. That was one of my disappointments this year. I should have knew from the first year when every game I looked at, please don't start Alfred Payton. Please don't start Alfred Payton. And then sure enough, Alfred Payton, like he has no kind of, adjustments to who's on the court as far as, okay, they're going small ball. Let's match small ball with small ball, No, instead I'm just going to throw in two centers instead of matching. So we're going to go 1990 basketball with this. I'll show him.
Cannot do that in 2022. You just cannot do that, man. You can't.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. We don't need that. They're just. How many times have we seen coaches with these philosophies, man? We've had a lot of veteran coaches, the Knicks, now, and even they did work when we had them. Barry Brown, Lenny Wilkins, Isaiah Thomas. It's enough, man. Enough's enough. Thibodeau's another veteran coach, you could say. He's part of that branch. It's just time is up, man. It's time to get a modern coach. It's time for the Knicks to be part of the modern age teams, man, and to be up there with them. It's time for the Knicks to finally get a winning team. Look at the Grizzlies. Grizzlies have a star. However, we have RJ that was drafted after John Morant. We want RJ to be like we want him to lead a team like what John Morant is doing. I'm sure that's what a lot of Knicks fans want. Only some of us may feel otherwise. Some of us may feel like he can't lead a team like John Morant. I would love to see RJ lead a team like that. If not, even if he's not the leader, at least build a young team, man. Try to build one and see what you get from there. When us Knicks fans, we're not in a rush. We're not in a rush to get lied to.
It depends who you ask, Kelly. It depends what age group you're asking. Because if you're asking the OGs, they be like, man, we've been around for a minute. We didn't seen it all. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got no more time. I'm on, on a respirator. Right. I'm on life support right now. Huh? I ain't got no more time to be waiting around. But if you ask someone who's just, started watching the Knicks the last couple years, or maybe during the Mello years or whatever, they're like, okay, we got time,
Right. It all depends on the timeline you ask for. Yes.
Yeah.
Like I want the timeline. I just want the youngins because it's so many years of losing and thinking we're gonna win and we don't. It's like us Knicks fans, we're not dumb, man. Like we really want to win. Eventually you got to come to the table and you got to.
But what are we winning, Kelly? What are we winning? Or are we winning a chip this year? Are we winning a chip next year? Like realistically, who has been winning the last chips? The last 10, 15 years. Who's been winning the chips?
Teams with LeBron on them, the Warriors.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yes. Teams with the talent.
Kawhi, it's either Kawhi.
Yeah, exactly. Kawhi, and teams with the talent, man. You got to have the talent to win. That's what it takes. It takes the talent.
Yeah. Then
we don't have the talent yet. We'll get there. We don't have it yet.
That's what I'm saying. Why rush it? Why rush it? These guys.
I just think
I'm just trying to keep the conversation going. As far as I'm with you. Why rush it? Because these guys are out the door. It's a new group that's coming in, like you mentioned. It's the John Morant, the the Donovan Mitchells. Now we see RJ growing. Let's just add some more pieces to it, and like I mentioned, grow organically. And later on, that missing piece that we do need will want to join the Knicks. But for right now, like, we can't just be trading everything away and just going that way, doing the old Knicks stuff. Like, I'm okay, because we got a little taste of it last year. We got to the fourth seed, and we all jumped out the window. All right, now all we need is a couple more pieces, and we're good to go. Like, it was fool's gold. You know what I'm saying? This year was a reality check. You know what I'm saying? To really how good our team is. We are a lottery team.
Right.
But why are we trying to be this? We're a lottery team either way, with the vets or with the youngins. So might as well.
That part, right?
Yeah, might as well let these kids play, every single one of them. You know what I'm saying? Find minutes for them.
Kids are key parts to winning teams. Now, I will say, granted, you have youngins on the team. They, quickly, Obi, RJ, any other youngins, Mitch. These guys, they went to the playoffs last year. They didn't go to the finals, but they went to the playoffs last year. At least they can say that they've been to the playoffs, and they're still young. So they have they understand somehow, some way how to win. The kids are hungry. They're hungry than the vets. Vets aren't hungry. Vets want to win, but they're not hungry. Vets just know how to play. A lot of vets at this point in their career, a lot of them just know how to play a role.
But when's the last time you can say that, Kelly? When's the last time we had all these hungry youngins? Like, they all want to eat. You can't say that the last couple of years what Knox is,
I don't know if we even had a Knicks team this young, man. I think we've tried so many quick fixes. I don't think we've had this many youngins.
But what I'm saying is, they all hungry. They all want to eat. Sims wants to eat. IQ wants to eat. Deuce wants to eat. Grimes wants to eat. They all hungry. You know what I'm saying? That they all trying to get time. You can't say that the last couple of years with the young cats that we had on the team, with the Knoxes, the low motors, the Nilikinas,
right.
guys like that when we traded for DSJ, just, you saw glimpses of what they could be, but you're never like, oh, all them, they're all dogs,
right.
All these youngins are straight up dogs. Like, they ain't leaving no meat on the bone. They're all fighting over the bone, as a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? And that's the exciting part, that we're seeing that. Why is Tibbs not seeing that is what I don't get.
Tibbs thing. Tibbs has this philosophy on how he breeds his how he breeds his youngins, man. He has this keen philosophy, man. But he's the only one that could do it. So it's like, it's like whatever at this point, It's like whatever, Tibbs. If you say so, man. If you say so, Tibbs.
I mean, we're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the league. Why is nobody showing these kids how to shoot free throws? Sims is out there just clanking, just 1 for 3 here. He's getting to the line, but that's something that they all need to work on this summer. Is, if I'm James Dolan, I'm sending a free throw shooting machine to everybody's house. You know what I'm saying? ASAP. Like, you're welcome. Here's a little bonus for me to you. Christmas came early this year. There you go.
Right. And granted, RJ learned how to shoot. He learned how to shoot better last season. He learned how to actually shoot. He wasn't shooting. He was spotting up in the corner. For the most part, the guy was spotting up in the corner, and he figured it out on how to shoot. So I can at least give RJ that.
Yeah, you just see everybody just growing as the season went on. Like I mentioned, Sims looking like a man possessed out there yesterday against Brooklyn. All those second chance, boards and putbacks, and everybody was looking up. Drummond was looking up, and here comes Tarzan out of nowhere, just get the putback. Yeah, I'm like, I was hyped. I had to stand up and salute him myself. Like, yeah, boy, there you go, there you go. My kids ran out here like, Pops, are you all right? You all right? I was like, yeah, Pops is just hyped right now. So I'm
Right.
good.
Canal.
Yeah.
Got Canal in the chat. Right, yo.
Like those are the little things that we get to be hype about because we see them out there grinding and playing defense. It's what we want, and you know I just want them to have a better opportunity, more of an opportunity next year. So just don't bring in, if you're going to bring in vets, I'm saying, like you mentioned, addition by subtraction. Get rid of the ones that aren't producing, providing, being leaders. Um, open up some cap space. The Kemba experiment did not work. So there goes what.
Sadly.
Yeah, well, he's still on contract for next year, but I don't know if you can eat the money. Whatever you got to do, let him go.
I like him too, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, I don't know, but guys that aren't here for the long term, are not going to be mentors to our youngins. Then, Taj is another one. I like Taj, but let him be part of the staff. It's time to open up that $5 million.
Yeah, this guy should not be seeing 30 to 40 minutes, man. He's not.
Or is Taj that stretch five that we've been wanting? Because he's been hitting those corner threes like crazy lately. Like every time I see him and the ball go to him in the corner, I'm like, that's wet right there all day.
If he's at stretch five, Tibbs has to go tomorrow. He has to go tomorrow, man. I'm sorry. Tibbs is not it, man. And Tibbs is a respectable coach, man. I watched a video on Minnesota fans on, what did they think of Tibbs? I wanted to see what was the issue, what happened over there in Minnesota, because I'm like, I'm trying to figure this guy out. I'm trying to figure this coach out. You want to know what's going on with the coach as much as you want to know what's going on with the players. So I'm trying to figure this guy out. I looked up a video of, what happened in Minnesota, and Tibbs said what he said, and he sounded like he knew what he was talking about, just like how he does in the post-game interviews when he loses. He sounded like he knows what he was talking about, and he didn't. I'm sorry, he did. He did sound like it. However, when you lose, it doesn't reflect. When you're losing, it doesn't show the full, it doesn't show exactly what's going on.
Yeah. That's funny. Nick Yak said Chamberlain shot his fouls underhand. Can't think of his name now, but one of the players led the league in free throws underhand. I think it was Jerry Lucas. Granny Goose style free throws. That's funny though, because I mess around like that when I'm at the park just hooping it up, and I'll get to the paint and I'll just do like just a tap, underhand tap with no rotation on the ball, but it goes in all the time though. It's funny how just the way you can manipulate the ball and going into the hoop with no rotation on the ball, but it's just when I just mess around, I like doing that when I'm playing against people. Just a quick little underhand slap, and I'll walk away like I'm Curry. Just walk out like I know it's going in. But I get it though. It's funny. I don't understand either. Back in the days, they just those kind of shots, the hook shot. Like, why does nobody do the Kareem?
I guess that's probably the shot that worked for a lot of people at first.
But it's unstoppable though.
Yeah, it probably worked for them first. It is what it is. It's all right.
Yeah, just the game has changed, man.
The game's changed, man.
Mm-hmm. Everybody, they think it's NBA Live or whatever. They want style points. I get style points now. Like, no, a 2 is a 2 and a 3 is a 3. It don't matter. And free throws 1. It's all the same amount of points.
Yeah, it is what it is at this point.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
We're just trying to figure out the direction of the team. That's all. We're just trying to figure out the team's direction.
Yeah, well, I think it's the front office wanting to go young, and Tibbs wanting just to play his vet. So to make it go that way, just don't bring in those types of vets. You know what I'm saying? Start, like I said, just start eliminating the ones that we're not using. You know, you get rid of Kemba, you get rid of Taj. That's two open spots right there. Um,
Right.
you get rid of Noel's, trade Noel's, you open up another milli. That's 19 plus
Right.
5. That's 20, 24 milli right there with just those three players. Um, Unfortunately, like I said, Mitch is gonna probably walk. That's another roster spot.
Right.
And
If he walks, man, this Knicks team is just it's just pathetic, man. It's like because I was thinking about that today too. Like with Leon, it's often said that the man is cheap. I wonder if the man is just straight up lazy. That's what I just wonder. Does it make his job easier to let guys walk and to pay him, to get cheap talent, or that makes me wonder if he just wants to just take the cheap route to win. That's what he thinks.
but remember though, Mitch, they offered Mitch money. He just didn't take it because he knows he's worth more in the market.
Right.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at. They waited too long to get the deal finished, and yeah, it'll be a sign and trade though because they don't let people walk anymore. It'll be sign and trade. What can you get for him? So
Oh boy, Knicks better just figure this out, man.
kind of is what it is. So out of all the kids this year, who do you feel was
Most impressive.
most impressive?
I mean, Obi seemed to have been a late bloomer this season. He seemed like a late bloomer. Quickly did his thing. I was never worried about. I was never worried about his shooting slump. I knew he wasn't. He's not. I know he's not a point guard. If you ask me, I know what he's better suited as. The guy had a good season last year as an off the ball guy, and I just think that should have been continued. You don't fix what's not broken. You don't all of a sudden play a guy out of position. So I actually think all of them. Mitch came. He came around. I guess he lost his weight. He started getting it together. Um, RJ got in killer mode. He got into killer mode in the season. He had his nice game winner, January 6th. I had the date saved. I saved it into my favorites on my iPhone. Um, I think all the youngins, man. I wanted to see more from Deuce, and that kind of like hurt me because when I did my research last year, when I looked up point guard specifically, because I knew that's what we needed, especially after this season with Elfrid Payton, he was one of the guys I wanted. So that's one of the guys I would love to see more from. I got a good glimpse of him. I think it was a game last week where he got into the paint. I don't remember if he came around the screen. He got into the paint and he shot a nice mid-range pull-up in someone's face. That was his game in college. He knows how to run the point. And you just when you see guys play to their strengths and when you use guys to their strengths, it just works better. The guy's a point guard. You don't have to necessarily give him the keys, but test it out. See how it will work. The guy can defend. That's one thing. He can defend. He's only going to get better. Once he gets comfortable in offense, that's all it is for some guys. It's just confidence. Some guys have the game already. They just have to settle in. That's all. He might, he also post up. He posts up too. One thing I will say though, he's very deadly from the mid range. He's very deadly. 3-point shooting, he'll probably get that better over the years. He has a very deadly mid range. I think in the NBA that's very essential. Like Jamal Crawford said, it's like a jab in boxing. Keeps the defense honest. I think that's very dope. That McBride has a mid range like that. I think he deserves a shot. But that's just my opinion.
No, I'm with you.
Talking so much, but yeah.
No, you good. You good. You was cooking. I was enjoying what you were saying because I agree with all those things that you mentioned. We just the more time he gets out there, the more comfortable he gets, and the more he lets it fly. And I feel like it's going in every time he lets it go. You got a question up there, Cully?
Oh yeah, shout out to my man D Coolest. D Coolest said, "So, Cully, are you starting IQ next season, or trading or getting for PG?" If you ask me, I'm a bit biased with this one. I'd rather start McBride. But I don't mind. You know what it is with IQ? I was thinking of this today too. I don't um I don't care for IQ to start, but I don't mind. I do. I want him to play by all means. But as far as being point guard, I don't care for it, but I don't mind it. Let the kid run. Let the kid play. A kid could play. IQ could play, man. But I don't know if I want it at point guard. So me personally, I wouldn't start him at point guard. I wouldn't. I would have him. I would have him play off ball, play at the two. He's become a better defender. If you want to have him guard some ones, cool. If you want to make McBride guard the two, is cool. But I think IQ is better at the two. It's not so much better at the two, but playing a shooter. If he gets the ball, he puts it on the deck. He can still make plays. I don't know if I want him scanning the court. I don't know if I want to put him into that position yet. I think he should still learn it. But like I said, he's a workhorse. He's working hard. He's getting his shots up. I don't know. I don't start him at the point guard. No, I'd rather start McBride. That's just me. I think McBride ran it in college. That's his strength. Keep the man playing. Keep him comfortable. Keep IQ comfortable. That's all. I guess that's what I.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you
no,
heard it.
no, it doesn't. For me, it doesn't matter. Just keep those guys, Rose, IQ, and Deuce, because I'm fine with either one of those guys starting. Like I mentioned, we're not going anywhere anyways. We might as well let these guys develop. If you start Rose, you start Rose. Unfortunately, he's gonna get hurt eventually. You know what I'm saying? During the time of the season, then next man up. But the thing is, having Burks there, we all know that that's not going to happen. So, to me, we got to get rid of Burks right now because his value is high right now. He's finishing the season strong. He basically carried the team yesterday in the beginning of the game, getting us that 21-point lead. Then everybody else kind of fed off that energy, but there was times where we couldn't score without him. He was just a bucket getter. So right now, while the value's high, get what you can, and then let's go moving forward with these 3 point guards, because I don't want to. I changed my mind earlier in the year when I said I wanted to go get either Colin Sexton
Or Brunson.
or Brunson, only because like I mentioned, I still felt like we were going to keep Julius. We still needed a point guard, but now I'm just like, get rid of Julius. Let's just get rid of the vets. Let's just run with the youngins. I mean, and then later on we'll figure out where the chips fall. Who runs what? Who runs the point? Who runs the shooting guard? Does RJ go back to the natural two? Will Cam be the three? Starting the second with the three. Is Obi the four? Then whether Sims is the starting five, or we end up getting the guy that I mentioned in the beginning of the show, a Mark Williams, who's basically a poor man's Mitchell Robinson. Then
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams, yeah, from Duke.
From Duke, yeah.
7'7" wingspan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, pretty mobile. You know what I'm saying? Good, play in the post. Play out in the perimeter. I mean,
I would hope Mitch too, man, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as far as Mitchell Robinson's replacement, something like that, or there's other free agent big men out there that won't cost too much, somewhere around the $5 million range. Uncle Freezy had mentioned it before, someone like a Bismack Biyombo, just someone similar, of that nature. You're not, someone who's not chasing
players like that.
Well, someone who's not chasing a ring, because Dwight Howard is chasing a ring, and what's the name?
He wasn't getting him anyway, but yes, I agree.
And what's the name is always chasing a ring too. What's the tall, skinny guy that played for the Lakers too? JaVale McGee.
Oh, McGee, right? Yeah. That guy.
Yeah. So guys like that who don't care about money and are chasing rings, then. But the ones that we're gonna have to overpay. Noel's is a proven fact that we gotta overpay for guys. So I don't know, or we may just stick with Noel's and just run it with Noel's and Sims, and there's just different ways we could go. That's kind of the exciting part as well, and the letdown later on when we figure out who we have. It's like, oh, really? That's who we got. Ah, it is what it
Right,
is, though. You know,
right, right.
because it's like we have all these expectations of everybody wants a certain player, and then what ends up happening is nobody gets anything. Like we all open the box and it's empty. You know?
Every time, every time. We never get the player we set out for, man. Never. We hear about this interest. That's why, as I said, that's why we have these shows, we have these podcasts, we have all these things, these Knicks content.
Mm-hmm.
It's like therapy, man, because
Therapy.
we all understand. We all know about, as being fans. We know about interest. Knicks have interest in this person, and these rumors come up, and it never happen. A lot of times they never happen. And it's funny, when we want a guy, we end up getting that guy maybe 6 to 8 years later when we do want the guy. We get that guy years later. We don't get that guy the year we should get him. That would help the team. We never make the move. We're not aggressive. That, and just a mixture of that, and just Knicks front office not having the cachet to just pull it off. We don't have the assets to pull it off. We get these. That's the problem. We get these veterans, man. These. I'm not saying veteran. I actually like veterans, but we get these guys, these mid tier guys, and everybody talks about trading them. We're not getting nothing back from them. They don't have value. I just, people forget that these guys don't have any value, man. We're not getting value back from none of these guys. You know. So these people have to just leave these thoughts. Let these thoughts just leave your mind, man. We're not getting the guys you think. We can get talent, but you have to go about it. It's kind of like, how do you say? I'm trying to think of that good example. It's kind of like your girlfriend, right? In general, she's telling you, let's say you get bit by a bee, right? Or your
It's
friend, let's say your friends get bit by a bee. Let's say you get real sick, and you get sicker and sicker every year. Not towards death, but you just get sicker and sicker every year. A part of your body gets weak. Your friends get healthier every year. Why? They went to get treatment. Your girlfriend tells you, "Babe, get treatment. Go get a shot. Go get what your friends get." You're like, "No, I want to do something different. I want to do something different." And that's what the Knicks do. Knicks want to do something different every year. They want to go against the grain every year and hurt them, and then set themselves back more and more years. Like you have I know I'm giving just bad examples, but you have Lyme disease when you get bit by gnats. Is it gnats? I think it's gnats. But you have the Lyme disease that can be pretty crucial. But that's what the Knicks are. The Knicks are that stubborn man that doesn't listen to his girl. That stubborn handyman whose girl is telling him, "Look, use this tool. Just get new tools. Your tools are old. They don't work no more. They're rusty." And you're sitting there, "No, I've made a lot of money with these tools. I can still use them." That's what the Knicks are. That's what the Knicks are. So
yeah.
that
Well,
stubborn
then,
different.
well, our us fans aren't any better either because we're always looking in other people's garbages, wanting with or looking through other people's houses. You know what I'm saying? Looking at what they want instead
Right.
of working and getting it themselves. Like I don't know, like a thief. I'm gonna go out there and just steal this instead. And then now I have it instead of working it. That's not the right way because what happens? You end up going to jail. You know what I'm saying? You lose whatever you stole anyways, and then it was pointless at the time. You took one step and you had it for one day, and then you took two steps backwards, and now you don't have anything anymore. That's
Right
just
now, and the thing is, there's so many ways out there to get the talent we need. It's just the Knicks have to go about it, yo. The Knicks don't go about it. You have to accept that talent out there, the talent out there can be built through the draft. But like that's all it is. Knicks have to just stop lying. Accept the rebuild. It doesn't hurt. Take a page from people's book. That's the beautiful thing about life. You learn, you live, and you learn. Take a page from other teams' books. Other teams built through the draft. They got what they wanted. and they eventually started winning. Look, come on, the Bucks. The Bucks is like the perfect example, man. I remember when we had Mello here, we used to tear the Bucks up. Well, there was a point in time they would beat us too, but then they became that 2013 season. I don't think they ever beat us. Maybe once. I don't think so, but we tore them up. When they had Monty Ellis and Brandon Jennings, and they was a pretty good team. Larry Sanders, it was a pretty damn good team. But they somehow some way they got bad. They had picks. And then they ended up getting Giannis and Jabari Parker. And they made a trade for Chris Middleton, if I'm not mistaken. They just ended up doing everything right. That's what it was. They ended up doing everything right, man. We just didn't do stuff right. You look at other teams, Pistons. I mean, the Pistons just suck, but some teams just hit, man. They just hit on that guy. They hit on that impactful player. That's all it is.
Yeah, well, not to cut you out though, but Sherwin M mentions that the Knicks are not that far away. We need a point guard and a small forward. That's what I thought last year. You know what I'm saying? That's what I kept saying. We need a point guard for Randall. We need a small forward, and we finally got that small forward within Cam Reddish.
Hopefully, Cam still here, right? Yes.
Yeah, but then he got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So let's just build with RJ. Let's build with Cam. Let's let go of Randall because he's not gonna he showed his true colors. He is who he is. He's not gonna come back, next year a new man. Nah. I feel like you can still get something for him. This is a power forward heavy draft, and then whether Obi is a starting power forward or whoever we draft. I like that kid Jeremy Sochan. You know what I'm saying?
From Baylor.
Yeah, very. We talked about him a couple of shows ago. You know what I'm saying? He's very bouncy. He could guard 1 through 4. He could get his own bucket. He's just very pesty. Gives a lot of energy as far as going to grab boards. You know what I'm saying? Very handsy. He'll get on the ground. I'm saying one of those hustle. He's just a hustle player. You know what I'm saying? At that size, has a lot of. He just fits what we have. Just has a lot of heart, and I like that. There was one play where it was a little dirty. He fell out. He was falling on the ground. Somebody had pushed another power forward from UNC, and he grabbed as the guy was falling down. He grabbed him with his legs and kind of pulled him down with his legs because he didn't like that he got pushed down. But even though it was a dirty play, it was like, all right, I understand where you're coming from because he kind of pushed you first and you kind of want payback, but he's just not gonna let any plays off. He's gonna play every play like it's the last play, and that's kind of what we want. He knows his strength as far as he's not a 3-point shooter, but he'll give you a little pump fake and take you to the hole. You know what I'm saying? Work the post. So that's someone who could be available during that time. And we mentioned Tari Eason. That's another Tibbs guy. He's all defense. You know what I'm saying? If that's the route you want to go, because there's times where we just need stoppers. You know what I'm saying? We just need to grab some boards and we have we'll have other guys to score, but we need somebody who could be a defensive stopper. You know what I'm saying on that end. So there's certain guys. Benedict Matherin. That we just mentioned.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this guy all day, man.
What's that?
I've been thinking about this guy all day. I was talking about him earlier, man.
Who's that?
Benedict Matherin, man. I was
talking yeah.
Drive, man, with Freezy and D is baller, man. They asked me what I think of him. I told him I would love him, man. His athleticism. Only thing is, I know he's 6'6". I thought we just have enough 6'6" guys on the team, but I would like him. I would take him, man. I can't help it. The guy's he's too athletic to pass up on. I just don't know if he'll fall to us. I would hope he does, but I don't know, man. I would like him on here though.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe the Knicks will trade up. I would love it, but I don't know, man.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to catch the morning drive this morning. It was a hot day at work in the warehouse, and usually I have my beanie cap on and I'd be listening, but it was too hot to wear a beanie cap, so I was like, I can't even listen to it this morning.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm glad you guys talked about Benedict because I'm on board with him too. There is guys in the draft. There's a Ty Washington, and
I'm hearing his name all the time. I'm not too big on Ty, man.
I'm like unsure of him because he's mocked anywhere between 8 and 14. You know what I'm saying? He's the highest point guard on the draft board. He averaged 12.5 points, 3.5 boards, 3.9 assists, 1.3 steals, 45% field goal percent shooter, 35% 3-point shooter, and 75% free throw shooter. Now he's 6'3" with a 6'9" wingspan, average frame, not too thin. But when I watched some of the games, like he didn't even start. So it was Wheeler and Davion Mintz that started, and then he would run with the second unit. Now he's been hurt a lot too, so I don't know if the games, because I caught a couple games when he played with Florida against Florida. I caught the Ole Miss game, and there was I forgot who the other game I watched too. And like I said, he didn't start none of those games, and other games he played off ball too. So even when he was on the court, Wheeler was running the point, and Wheeler's more like a 5'9", point guard. He has to play the point guard at that stature. You know what I'm saying? And he was playing more off ball, but he had a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? He had ankle injuries, leg injuries to the same leg, because before he was a lot quicker. You know what I'm saying? He would play the passing lanes. You know what I'm saying? He had that long reach, so he'd play the passing lanes. He was real quick out there. He was yamming. Then after that injury, it kind of slowed him down, where he was sagging off on defense. He wasn't all in your chest anymore. He wasn't playing like he kind of started second guessing himself. And I've done that too, because I've torn my ACL, and then I kind of questioned certain moves to do, right afterwards. Like I don't want to spin, or I don't want to jump stop anymore. Just certain things. But so I wasn't sure, like on pre ankle injuries or after ankle injuries, like which one was which. But like he does have a good mid-range game though. He'll take you off the bounce real quick. Like he'll catch the ball, and he's quick on his decision on whether it's I'm going to the hole real quick, and if I get stopped, I'm gonna pull up in the elbow and hit a quick little midi, or he almost gives me the Ntilikina vibes too, where he catches the ball and he passes it right away. Like, all right, I'm just gonna get rid of the ball. So sometimes I see him out there, and I'm like, oh, I forgot you were out there, because you kind of disappeared because you're not making yourself be known on that by being active. But he is a good passer, though. You know what I'm saying? He knows his angles. He has those long arms, so they'll use him on inbound passes to throw over opponents' heads when he's the inbounder, or on whether it's on the sideline or the baseline. Like I said, he's not very shifty with the ball, but he keeps the ball close to his hip and gets to the, like I said, just makes a decision north and south, 1-2 dribbles. He's getting to the cup. I'm saying he's very decisive on what he wants to do right away. Like he doesn't like overthink things. And so I don't know. Like I'm on the fence on which Ty is he? Is he the elite speed, get you a bucket? Or is he more conservative, Ty? Is he a point guard? Is he an off guard? I just don't. I'm just unsure of who Ty is.
Now he can get a bucket. I'll give him that. He can shoot. I don't know. There's just something about him. I'm not too thrilled. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not sold on him. Yeah, you're just not sold on him. Yeah.
Maybe it's just me as a Knicks fan. I'm not heavily sold on the guy.
Right.
I'm thinking it's just me, but I mean, maybe you feel the same. I don't know.
I do feel the same, because whether we get the 8th, 9th, or whatever 14th pick, and we get another point guard that's not a point guard, and 2-3 years later we find out he's not the guy, then we just threw away another pick. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Another high draft pick, and I'm not trying to go that route again. As far as we have to hit on this pick. I don't care if what position it is. This guy better he doesn't have to be a starter, but he better be a role player off the bench with the second unit. I don't need him going to the G League and not getting any run with with NBA teammates. So I don't know. I just, like I said, I just been doing my due diligence on looking at tank. Go ahead.
Not to cut you off, it just randomly came to my head. Something I also wanted to add on the show. I I think Miles Bridges is a free agent. I know this is random. I think he's a free agent after this season.
Oh, they're paying him. They're paying him because they offered him 60 milli and he turned it down.
Turn it down, right? So are they gonna pay him?
They're gonna pay him whatever the whatever the amount is that he's asking for that he can get. They're gonna pay him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's their number one option on the team. He's young, and him and Mello are like, you know what I'm saying? They're best buds.
I'm just under the impression that Michael Jordan thinks that he wants to get a star, so he might not pay him. That's what I'm under. I'm under that impression. I don't know, because I feel like he's kind of like Leon Rose in a sense. Oh, my phone was ringing. He gives me Leon Rose kind of vibes, like conservative, but I don't know, like I don't know, like lazy. But I don't know, because Jordan's not the best GM. I just feel like he wants to get a star somehow, so he might just not. He might not. I feel like he might not pay the guy, and I feel like that's something we should also look at. That's just me. I feel like the Knicks should look at that. If they don't pay him, if the what do you call it? If the Knicks choose, I mean, if the Hornets don't pay him, grab him. I feel like that's a wing. That'd be a good wing right there. Guy got energy. He's a dog, athletic. I feel like that's the guy you should go for.
Yeah, there you go, Cully. Wanting other players from other teams that, you know what I'm saying? Like they're not letting him go, Cully.
That's a quality free agent right there. Miles Bridges, I think that's a quality. If you know,
yeah, he is, but they're not letting him go. They're not letting him go. You know what?
No. Probably not. For what it's worth.
Like I said, him and Mello are tight. You know what I'm saying? And I think he was the one that introduced let Mello know that when he won the rookie award. You know what I'm saying? He was the one to let him know. So like, yeah, they too tight to just let go. Those guys are going to be Batman and Robin. You know what I'm saying, for years to come. You know what I'm saying? I just don't see that happening.
Right.
Yeah. So we almost about out of time whenever Unk pops up though. So before that happens, I just want to thank. I just want to thank all those who joined us tonight. You know, Knicks after party. This is, you know, like I mentioned before, I appreciate y'all rocking with us since, you know, if y'all day one, Knicks after party, or you guys just, you know, recently just came around. I appreciate those who are supporters, point blank period. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, this is it. This is Sunday's the last game of the season. You know, we just gonna be looking forward to this draft, you know, and appreciate y'all rocking with us.
Our future media, thank you, man, brother. Salute.
Yes,
thank y'all for rocking with us.
Yeah,
this show was pretty quick, man. I didn't expect it to go out that quick. I look up and it's 12:30. It's like, man, I could have went on for hours, but I wouldn't do that to my boy Sub, you know. I get talking about so much stuff because I get so mad with this team, man. I get so mad. Sometimes I don't feel like talking because it makes me mad just thinking about why would the Knicks do that, you know. And then Tibbs lit a fire under me. There's no way he lit a fire under me, man, more than his own players. You know, talking about guys studying, do people study and all that? Oh man, he lit a fire under me. Freezy, what it do, Freezy?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to cut the show. All right, y'all. Appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all for rocking. Salute. Enjoy y'all weekend. See y'all